Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Hey. Oh, no.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it.
All right.
I am Benjamin Dixon, and I'm here with my sister from another mister as she adjusts her camera, Rebecca Azor. How you
Hey,
doing,
what's
sis?
going on? Hold on. Give me 1 minute. Let it find me. Let it find me.
Let it focus on you.
Let the spirit find me right up in there. All right. How y'all doing? It's not focusing correctly. It's because we ain't been here for a minute. Because we ain't been here for a minute. Give me one right there.
It's the holidays. That's the listen. We are still in the holiday mode. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
The camera and the lighting said it needs a few more days off.
It's doing a lot. There we go. I see it. It was me. It was on my side. How you guys doing today? How are you been? How's everything going? How was your break? Everybody who's watching in the comment section, how was your break been? How was your Christmas?
It was good. I took kind of a partial break. I've been doing the podcast all week long, and
Mhm.
I've still got one more episode to get out today, but I haven't been doing the full podcast. So, that's been kind of the break, and obviously Christmas and kids and family and all that kind of stuff. And it's been good. It's been a good rest. I'm ready to get back in the new year, though. I know that much.
How was your Christmas?
It was good. It was, I don't really celebrate. That's the thing. Like, I'm having the hardest time.
Mm.
No, let me rephrase it. If it wasn't for my wife, I would be having the hardest time with holidays because I honestly don't celebrate really anything. But I got kids now and they do want to celebrate. So my wife makes sure that, I represent well with the kids. But for me, I like to cook and just sit around with family. I don't do a lot of presents and stuff. But it
So
was
for
great though. I had a good time.
so does your wife is your wife more of the Jesus is the reason for the season, or she mixes the two like Santa and
Yeah, well,
Jesus?
she does Santa. The kids, they two of the three kids realize the truth about Santa. We're going to let the last one, come into his own in about a year. He's got about a year left before we bust that bubble. But
Oh,
she, we put up stockings. We do all the secular stuff. We do all
not
the
the
Christmas,
secular
the
stuff.
winter solstice kind of pagan stuff. We
Okay.
do that too.
Yeah, no, it's a natural thing to do. I feel like
Yeah.
because I mean, for Haitians, we have Noel, which is I guess Saint Nicholas,
Mm-hmm.
Noel,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got Jesus. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
we discussed this on our last episode, and it's more so like you got to use it to your advantage. It's like Santa ain't stopping by, okay, because you haven't been good, and
Uh-huh. That's right.
because you haven't been good, Santa can't come and give you a thing.
That's right.
Santa
That's
can't
right.
come and do a thing, and also Jesus is watching.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He
You got to
knows
use
when
it
you've
all.
been sleeping. He knows when you're
He
awake.
knows it all. You see,
Mm-hmm.
and you just gotta merge it all. I just feel like it's really cute for kids to believe in Santa Claus. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
me, and that's my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, how was your Christmas?
my Christmas was cool. I went down home. I gave myself a week. At about 6 days, that's a week to me. And
That's
I
a
was
week. Yeah.
working simultaneously from home. So then I got
Mm-hmm.
like my jits, which are my jits are children. That's Florida lingo for children.
Not
Um,
your loved ones, your
yes,
nieces and nephews.
my nieces and
Because
nephews.
people soundbite that. But like, when Rebecca get some jits of her own.
Oh, right. See, yeah. Soon come in the
Mm.
future after marriage. But I was seeing like, I had them all and it was like kind of hard to work that. Because I feel like we shouldn't be working on around the holidays, but I was working it because I gotta make that money back that I was gonna spend on the kids. So they were around and things like that, but I realized like when you go home, when home is like when you go to your family, you got to give yourself a few days and don't tell them when you're going to leave.
Mm.
'Cause they'll hold you to it. If it starts to get crazy, like, and by that, I mean, like, you could be having a great time and the family drama starts, you gotta, you gotta pack it up. You gotta be able to pack it up.
Mhm.
Um, And so I realized after maybe the fourth incident, and mind you, it was a great time though. Like I love being around my siblings, I love being around my parents, but all of that sometimes can get crazy. And
Mm.
I was like, damn, I should have booked the ticket a little sooner, but I did have
Mm.
to come back home for work. So yeah, because I had to be in an environment that was
Right.
more work savvy. So but other
Ah,
than that, yeah, it was good. Look, all of that, just it was
it was
good.
good. It was good.
My
That's
mama
good.
cooked every day. Oh, she cooked, and it's just good to have authentic Haitian food from the hands of a Haitian.
Ah, okay.
It's just it was amazing. But my Christmas was great. My Christmas was
That's
great.
good.
Yeah.
We were
So
checking in on our brother the whole time through the holiday.
yeah,
DJ exclusive. I see a couple of people asking about how he's
love him.
doing. I'm gonna follow up with him again today, but
He's not
he's
feeling
home.
yeah, he's home. He's not feeling the best today. We did talk to him this morning.
Hmm.
He said he's not feeling the best today, but he is home. That means that he is okay and he is alive. Amen to
Hmm.
that. And so we're just giving him
Recuperating.
yes, he's recuperating. We told him to stay off because he's like,
Right.
because I was supposed to come on today by myself, and he was just like, no, Beth, you're gonna go in alone. I'm like, I could do this alone. This is my arena, but I want you to come on, but I want you to also rest. I want you to
Right.
get your sleep. I want you to, I want to make sure that you're 100 because I said for all of us, the year for everybody who's watching, my sister said this, and I think I want to keep it 2023. That's our Jordan year. I like to know
Mm.
people who turn 23. They're like, oh, it's our Jordan year. 23, the year 2023, let that be our Jordan year. Let that be our
Yeah.
year of greats. And
Yeah.
us receiving that. So that,
I receive it.
yeah, receive it and receive it. So 2023, I want Bubba to be as healthy as possible here with us. I want us to be as healthy as possible, as blessed as possible. But if Bubba, if you're watching, we're sending that over to you. This is, we're preparing for that in a few days. And when you come back here, they're going to see jovial James. They're going to see beautiful Bubba. They're going to
Yeah.
see Mr. Willful Williams.
I
Okay.
love the app. You see the comment with the picture of James
Oh, I
over on
love
Twitch.
that
I
on
love
Twitch
those.
that they do that. Yeah.
Absolutely love those.
Yeah. I
And
love
shout
those
out
too.
to if I was reading correctly, and I don't want to be wrong, but Roller Dragon, who is
Moderator.
our moderator, he's out today because of a funeral. And so just want
Mm,
to send love to one of our top moderators. We have several, but Roller Dragon is always in there holding it down and at every patron party. So we just want to send some love and light to him today, especially today.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roller Dragon. My condolences, sending love to you. And I hope that you get through this day. If
Yeah.
you need some more love, hit the inbox, hit the DMs, and I'll send you some verbal love there, and some support because this the holidays and it's a lot already that we've
Yeah.
gone through.
Yeah.
So I'm sending him love. Everybody in the comment section also send him love. All right, it's a lot of love to give, and I got a lot of it to give. Okay, so but we got some stories, and I know that we haven't been here in a while, so I wanted to circle back to some things that we've missed, and some things that are right now trending. So, with the first story, let's start with the blizzards. I know
Oh my
you've heard
goodness.
about it. The
Yeah.
winter has been so crazy. I know Bubba brought it up on our last episode and talking about how the winter storm was going to be something serious. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's going to be, cold weather. No, it was frigid and it caused deaths,
Yeah.
specifically in the state of New York and the city of Buffalo. The winter storm death toll has risen to 39
Mm.
in Erie County, New York, as crews continue to clear roads and first responders check on people they couldn't reach days ago when the catastrophic weather system swept the nation. Officials there said Wednesday at least 25 others across 11 U.S. states have also been reported dead in
Mm.
the storm, which buried the city of Buffalo in nearly 52 inches of snow, trapping residents in western New York at home, many without heat, as the Christmas weekend blizzard took out power lines.
Mm.
Now, authorities are going door to door to conduct wellness checks. An EMS task force is checking locations of emergency calls, and authorities could not reach during the storm. While the National Guard will spend the next couple of days checking every house that lost power. Buffalo police completed sifting through 911 calls going back to the early days of the storm. Commissioner Joseph A. Gramaglia
Mm.
said Wednesday, he told CNN's Pamela Brown that it was a tremendous effort that also resulted in the recovery of a substantial number of bodies. The task included requests for welfare checks and Commissioner Joseph said he expects rising temperatures in the coming days will melt the snow and uncover more storm victims. Amid
Mm.
the frigid whiteout conditions, people got stranded in their vehicles and passed away in their cars. We have people that were walking during the blizzard conditions and passed away on the street, passed away in snowbanks. Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown said, and we have people that were found that passed away in their homes. Let's take a listen to what India Walton of Buffalo said about the matter.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
All right, while we're working to get that the video, during the days before or like a day before the storm, I was monitoring the storm. Again, not sure at the time. I wasn't sure um, how many people were going to pass in
Yeah.
the storm.
Yeah.
And so I thought it would just be a storm where people would be trapped and that kind of thing. However, there was a few videos that I did see, and one video that I saw was a woman
Yeah.
had a family. She was looking outside with her husband at the time, and they're watching the storm, and they saw a man. They seen a man coming from what's the name of the homes where they what's the name of the homes that people come at? They go for shelter. It's not really just shelter, group homes, right?
Group homes. Okay.
So yeah, he was coming from a group home. He had a few bags on his hand. Are you listening? Like in the wind, she said the wind was blowing him every which way. The video was a bit gruesome not because it was like anything that was crazy. She was just showing us the man, and he gave his name as Joe. I think that was he just gave a random name. I don't think his name was really Joe, in my opinion, but he was on her couch. They brought him in. They had to cut the bags that he had in his hands from his skin because they froze to his skin.
Wow.
And when she put him on video, she's like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "My name is Joe, and I was in a group home." And she's like, "I need help. I didn't want to get on here. He's been in my house for she said we're going on 48 hours or 24 hours or something of the sense." And she's like, "I bathed him. I put him in new clothes. I don't know if this man is going to die in my house. And my kids are afraid that this man is going to die in my house."
Right.
She said she got on a video call with doctors, and they said he had, I think, gangrene.
Wow.
And they said that if he does not get to a doctor, it will take over in his arms.
Right.
Fall off and he will die. So she pleaded for help. She's like, "I just need some neighbors. I don't even care." She's like, "Y'all telling me to call an Uber. Uber's," and here is the thing, capitalism, Uber prices were surging. And understandably so. None of them should have been out there driving anyway. But the services that they were providing for people who were out there, the Uber prices surged. And she was saying, I need get me a truck. I mean, I got a truck. If you guys can just help me get the snow off of my truck to get him to a hospital, I can do that. I don't want this man to die in my home, especially in front of my kids, because then we possibly will be trapped with a dead body in my home.
Right.
So these were the things that were going on. The other thing was a woman who was in her car, in her vehicle, young woman.
The nursing student.
Yes. Yeah. And who called her family and told her that she's just going to go to sleep. They found her passed away in her vehicle. There were videos circulating of somebody, not only somebody, a few people, just as people were walking by, bodies laying in the snow. One guy, they said, was like very popular in that part of town, and they were like, "No, he was like a
I saw that video.
Yeah, and he was just, his body was exposed, and the kids couldn't do nothing for him. They had to leave him and go.
Right. It's like a scene out of, I don't know if people have seen
2012.
The day 2012, the day after tomorrow, where it got so cold so quick that people were literally freezing. And you think about I think about that nursing student that you mentioned. I think her name was Endell Taylor. I don't want to get the name wrong, but she, just to think about the decisions that people had to make suddenly. And again, part of this is two parts of this that's really troublesome. One is the fact that we're starting to have once in a century storms, whether they be hurricanes or blizzards, even strings of tornadoes, right? The tornado intensity, like in the tornado belt, it's increasing. These once in a century storms are happening every year now.
Yeah.
And then the second thing that's really troublesome is that we have leadership that isn't warning people in time. Yes. Right. They didn't tell people in Buffalo to stop traveling until it was too late, until people were already on the roads, and then they couldn't go any further. And then they got locked in their cars because of all the snow. And so many people died. So, we're really faced with negligence from our leadership, both in the thing about this polar vortex that happened. As I was reading up on it, the reason it reached so far north is like it broke through because of climate change, because of our environment. Like the weather got so cold down here in South Florida. Well, not down here in South Florida, but down in Florida, it was I mean, like 10 degrees outside in places that has never seen that kind of temperature change. It's gotten to the negatives in some parts of Texas. And it's like the entire country at one time was suffering from this once in a century kind of incident. But these incidents are happening every single year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes the issue of climate change that much more important. If it could be any more important than it already is.
Yeah, and let's take a listen at what India Walton had to say. I think this is let's watch leadership. Let's take a listen.
Buffalo has a public works fleet of snowplows that is inadequate. Those departments remain understaffed. We spend more money on policing than we do making sure we have basic resources. In fact, the Buffalo police were calling for private citizens who own snowmobiles to come help rescue people. Why doesn't the city have snowmobiles? Why doesn't the city have smaller equipment? Why doesn't the city have heavier equipment, right? There are lots of whys, but I think that when it comes to spending $1 billion to fund, a billionaire's new stadium project, we need to look at the infrastructure of this city. We need to look at why we see photos of literal houses being blown over because we have the oldest housing stock in the nation. We have to look at why people are still with inadequate basic infrastructure, why people have been without power for 4 or 5 days. I think that $1 billion is much better invested in infrastructure and adequate, safe, affordable housing and, other things that keep people truly safe than it is in our sports team, which I love very much. I'm a huge fan. But I just think that there are many other ways that we can better use our resources than subsidizing folks who could very well build a new stadium themselves if they really wanted that.
I feel like she was speaking with us because I was about to start talking to her. So India, no, because she's talking and she's saying something here because a lot of people were making excuses. I lived in New York. I could be walking in the middle of the day and a blizzard just comes out of nowhere from work because they don't tell you to stay home. You come into work and, we would know how to maneuver through that. When I first got there, I didn't. But once you become accustomed to the New York way of living, you would know how to maneuver through that. It literally could be a blizzard that just comes in the middle of the day. And we're like, all right, we may not be able to take the train. Let's take the bus. If you can't take the bus, we're going to take this to this to this. We do what we can. You make it home, frozen and all. But for Buffalo, which is, north and it snows there. It snows crazy over there. It snows like they are known for snow.
Right. For them not to be prepared for this.
For them not to be prepared is ridiculous.
Right.
And the leaders there dropped the ball on this.
Byron Brown.
If we were in India was supposed to be the mayor and she lost to Brown. And so we see what the difference in leadership looks like.
And I want to just clarify. I don't mean to interrupt you, but she lost to Brown after Brown was a sore loser. Yes. He lost to India first, Walton first. He lost to her in the primaries. She was a Democratic candidate, and he decided to write in and run a campaign against her and ultimately beat her in the general election. Yes. But now, where are the results, Byron? Mm-hmm. Why didn't you send out a warning for people to stay home? Like these people died on your watch. You wanted to be mayor again. Were you not even I mean, you've been mayor before, so it snows in New York. I'm with you now, Rebecca. Like that's a lot of snow. That is a lot of snow, but Buffalo is used to that, right? They're used to that quantity.
Where were the trucks? Where were the precautions?
Right. Boston we had a snowpocalypse about 6 years ago in Boston, and everything shut down. But the city was prepared to get us back up and running in a couple of days without any deaths or minimum deaths. Like Mayor Brown, you wanted to be mayor. What's up?
Where were you? Where were you? Here, and speaking of where were you, these New York leaders were mostly missing in action. Not only was Mayor Brown missing in action or showed his lack of leadership in that time, we could take it right there to the city of NYC. Mayor Eric Adams Okay. He received a lot of flack after skipping out of town to an undisclosed location during his city's extreme winter storm last week. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has finally shared where he traveled after pushback. He said, I was in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He told reporters on Tuesday. The mayor then reportedly went on to chastise reporters for questioning where he was, telling them, I'm not always going to tell the press where I am. Adams was roundly criticized for fleeing the city ahead of the storm as New Yorkers faced freezing weather, leaving the streets icy and parts of the city flooded. As of Thursday night, an estimated of 61 people in the state have been confirmed dead from the storm. The final count of lives lost is still rising, and as the snow thaws out. But let's take a look at what Mayor Eric Adams said the other day about his reason for leaving.
Like you did. You know, this is my second Christmas without my mother. And last year, I was really the state of depression and what I put my staff through. And I said, I can't do that again. So after 365 days of commitment to the city, I decided to take 2 days to reflect on Mommy. And to watch how you responded to my 2 days out of the city was really alarming. I deserve good work-life balance like you do. I bet you went on a vacation. I bet you have not worked 365 days in the city.
Okay. So if you guys didn't pick up what he was putting down, he said that he needed a mental break and he allowed his...
Resign then. Take a really long, extended mental break.
When you get this job, there's a sacrifice that you know you're going to have to make. You can't compare your life to the constituents that you're supposed to protect. You already have a life that's beneficial over theirs. So they're picking up to go see family, whatever. You're the leader. You literally ran to be the leader. You ran to be the mouthpiece of the people. You ran to make rules in your city. You ran to make sure the city stays safe. You ran allegedly to make sure the infrastructures are okay. You ran to make sure during inclement weather that you will have your city together, locked down, protected. That's what you allegedly ran for. And now, the day you come back, you went to go see a cop that got stabbed. And, you know, hopefully that cop is okay. I do get it. Your whole city was looking for you for 2 days and you were nowhere to be found. The mayor of NYC. And then you get
during the storms. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's not that we're saying that this man can't take a break, but Ted Cruz left town during the storms. We gave him hell.
Everybody deserves the smoke. When Ted Cruz left Texas out there and had them while he went, and he blamed it on his daughter. And this one is blaming it on his mama. So now all of this right here, figure it out, because you and your daughter could have went on that break. This is Ted Cruz on that break after you made sure that the city was fine after the storm. And that state, that island wasn't going nowhere. Mexico wasn't going nowhere. Now, Eric Adams, the Virgin Islands was not going nowhere. And for you to leave without, you ran. You are a public figure. And your city didn't know where the hell you was. And you saying that nobody deserved, like, don't push me and ask me where I was. We weren't asking to get into your household. We were saying, where is the mayor?
Listen, Rebecca, I want you really, let's put this in perspective. If you and I disappear for a day or two, we get asked questions. Where the hell are we? Yeah. Right? We just host a morning show. This guy runs one of the largest cities in the country, right? With the largest police department budget in the country. I mean, they have a police department budget that rivals nations' entire armies, right? And in this winter storm, he expects nobody to ask where he is. Like the level of hubris and arrogance, but it's fitting for Eric Adams because he's an arrogant bastard. I'm sorry. He really thinks that he is above the law because he's a former cop. Most cops think that they're above the law. He thinks he's above questions because most politicians think they don't have to answer questions now. And they think that they could just do a little quick verbal jujitsu and get away with it. I'm sorry you lost your mama, man, but hell, I lost my daddy. So, what are you gonna do? What it is.
And here's the thing. I get Ben, we run a morning show and they do question, and it makes sense because we run a morning show. People are going to be looking for us. Boom. I mean, there's some accountability there. But if something, God forbid, were to happen to any, we are not responsible for
An entire city of people.
No,
Come on.
we're not. We can tomorrow just say F this, and then, and y'all will be fine. Y'all will live.
Right.
If these people, and we're not going to do that, we'll be here 2023. However, if I'm running something, if I am the leader of something, and I go missing, when it doesn't make sense. But as soon as you came back, you ain't even say, assess the situation, assess the damages. You didn't do any of that. You came to see your cop friend that got stabbed.
That's right. All right. Meanwhile, since he needs a mental health break, he's putting homeless people, making it easier for homeless people to be incarcerated, or rather institutionalized into mental health institutions. So, brother, if you need a mental health break, why don't you go to some of those same institutions you're forcing homeless people into? We ain't got no time for it. And then Rikers. Let's not forget that he's the man who's also making sure that Rikers is still popping with people dying in it on a regular basis. So Mayor Eric Adams, I don't care how black he is. I don't care how much swag he tries to put his cornball language, right? I don't care about any of that. You are responsible for one of the biggest police state departments in this country, right? The kind of abuse that comes from the NYPD. You are responsible for the lives of your citizens. And I'm sorry you needed some time to reflect on mommy. You should have been reflecting on the people that voted you in there and those who voted against you. Those are your citizens.
Come on. Right there.
I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of these.
Cruelty is the point. And I'm going to tell you why. That video of those people in the New York jails.
Oh, my goodness.
Pipes bursting because of freezing temperatures. Them get literally all that water from the pipes bursting, leaking on them and below freezing temperatures. No one came for them. They had to pull out their phones. We would have never seen it if they had no phones in there. If they ain't seen no phones,
I don't even know how they be getting phones in
that's crazy. So we got footage. We got full footage from somebody in there reporting live from inside the jail. We would have never seen how cruel they were being to them people inside of that.
That's right.
They left them there.
That's right.
And
while writing checks, Rebecca, those prisons get money from the state every single month to take care of these prisoners, or at least give them livable conditions.
Yep.
And they leave them for dead.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Greed, selfishness. That's what leadership. That's what you got. That's the qualifications for leaderships these days.
Bingo.
That's the qualifications for leadership. That's it. You just got to be greedy. You got to be selfish. You have to lie a lot. Put money where it doesn't belong, and make sure the people that are homeless stay homeless. Make sure that we make homelessness something negative. Like when I say negative, because it is, I don't want to see homeless. Criminalize it, weaponize. Say that the people that are out there in the middle of Atlanta are blocking traffic. Say that they're the ones stealing and laundering and looting and all this. Say that it's the homeless people out there. Because I've seen crime come from the people that live in the high rises themselves.
The best crime comes from the rich people.
Okay. I watched it go down all during the panoramic. PPP loans.
Oh my goodness.
$3 million. I ain't touched none of that money.
Human trafficking.
Like
we'll talk about that.
Drug manufacturing inside the House of Whites. Over there in Midtown.
Talk about it.
Stop playing with me. And you want to criminalize homeless people and homelessness? Man, please. Leadership sucks.
That's right.
Inclement weather just shows us that. We're just putting people in place when we have inclement weather or a pandemic or whatever. And these people that think that none of this stuff will ever happen, it's time to show and prove. And they doing not a thing. And when it gets too hard for them, they run.
They run.
No,
they
you
run
don't sign up
to the Virgin Islands.
To the Virgin Islands. You got on the plane and you was looking at your phone. You was looking at the videos being sent to your account.
This dude, Eric Adams, was like, damn shame what's going on in New York. As he's flying off to the Virgin Islands,
and look,
taking selfies.
Whoever's with him, I don't know if it's wife and them, but he's
taking pictures. Then he gets an update. 25 people are stranded in the, downtown Manhattan. And he said, oh, damn shame about that. And then he goes back to his Mai Tai.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's what he said.
That's crazy.
But he had to go think about his mommy,
But my mama died.
My mama died 2 years ago, and I'm like really distraught,
offense,
and I can't do my job.
And no offense, Mayor Adams.
Oh no, much offense.
Mama is dead. But those people that you could have saved,
they could have been alive. Come on. Somebody else is dead now because you had to go and reflect on your mother.
Our mama being dead.
You couldn't have reflected on your mother earlier.
The day before?
Or after.
Thank you, Ben.
Anyway.
He went to safety. And he said to the hell with the people of New York, but I'll be back. And when I come back, I'm going to check on my cop friend.
What's up with these black men in New York, the mayors, Byron Adams, not Byron Adams, Eric Adams and Byron Brown. Like really? What's going on, fellas, gentlemen? Don't y'all feel like a higher calling from the ancestors knocking on the back of your consciousness, telling you to do the right thing? No.
Because when you out here shucking and jiving, tapping that ass for the whites. When you out here doing all of that, when you out here being Samuel Jackson,
Kevin Samuel.
Samuel L. Jackson. No, not Kevin Samuel. Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django. When you out here doing all of that. Clarence Thomas, that's his name.
Clarence Thomason in it.
Yeah, when you're doing all of that, okay? When you logging in, when you checking into the Kunta Hotel, the ancestors can't speak to you. You
they ain't heard from the ancestors since they was a baby.
You stopped listening and they was just like, you know what? Let me go ahead and go to somebody else. Let me go ahead and go to the next kid because you ain't doing right.
Ancestors talking to India Walton, not Byron Brown.
Hello, that's why leadership came in the form of vote. When we were watching her speak, we wanted to say something. We wanted to have the actual conversation. I could not have a conversation with what am I doing with Eric Adams?
He probably tried to hit on you. That's probably what he's gonna do. He like to think he's in a midlife crisis. You know what I mean? He's out here trying to live his best life. Trying to be Sex in the City as the mayor of New York.
It's not. Yes, he is, and that's what all I see from him. All I see, the help he helps, Ben. He definitely helps. He helps the cops. Every time he comes out, it's something about helping the cops. Everything he says, it's cops. You are a former cop. You are not a cop now. You have people that you are your constituents that are not cops. They need help. Why do you keep giving money to the cops? What about the homeless? What about the people who don't have food? What about people who don't have housing? What about people who don't have clothes? What about the people who don't have jobs? What are you doing? Infrastructure is horrible. I used to live out there in the city. It's terrible. We went a whole damn winter and the building had stopped their heat. And it's like, if the building doesn't have heat, everybody in the building don't have heat. Like there's no apartment because we was living in housing and public housing. And I think it was like a week of winter, maybe 2. We had to bundle up in the house, freezing temperatures because heat broke. The heat wasn't working. And we survived. But I felt like I wasn't. I had blisters on my toes from like the cold.
That's why I had to get out of the north. I had to get out of Boston.
They can't find me again.
Look, as much as I love cold weather and I love snow, I love all that stuff. I would rather try to stay cool than to try to stay warm. Yeah. It's just like but unfortunately, it seemed like that cold weather.
It came down.
If we keep going on the trajectory it's going to keep coming down, Rebecca.
I was in Florida, and baby, it was brick. I said, wait a second. Now, the day before, I brought the babies to the to go see because we ain't got no snow, so we saw a sandman, sand
Mm.
Christmas tree. Her name
Shout
is
out to the
Sandy.
Republic of Pirates saying what I wanted to say. I won't say it on air, but he
Oh,
said it in the chat on YouTube. Shout out to you over there. We see y'all. And shout out to Latif, everybody in the chat room. Thank y'all so much for being here, supporting and watching and sending you the cash apps and love and everything that you guys do. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, what I really feel, I'm going to withhold and just let y'all read the comments on YouTube.
yeah. Stay in the comments, y'all. Stay up in the comments. I love to see it. But it was cold. Climate change is real. It was cold. I was in South Florida. We went down by the beach, and of course, by the beach is going to be cold. But as we drove away, still cold. We woke up the next morning. It was freezing outside. It was freezing to me, and that was weird. And it was at this specific time. It was almost like the earth was like, "Hey, you won't survive if you're trying to kill me off. I'm gonna make sure I make it weird for y'all during the holidays, specifically during the holidays." It was cold. It was freezing in Florida. And now, granted, when I was younger, it used to be cold like that when I was younger, but it would only be for the few days, maybe a day or two, but it was cold. And here in Atlanta, pipes were bursting all up and through Benjamin P. Dixon, all up and through Atlanta. Buckhead, Midtown, like those areas, pipes were bursting where you would think all the money that comes in through the city, infrastructure would be one of the places that they solidify it. Housing and how things are built and making sure the foundations are created, right? You would think, but no, they're only created for aesthetics. Lenox Mall, one of the most popular malls, now most dangerous, flooded. Because everything is only for show. Everything is nothing.
I don't, Rebecca, you now, because you just reminded me of, I know Keisha Lance Bottoms isn't the mayor of Atlanta anymore. They have a black man mayor, but you just keep reminding me of all of these black faces in high places who don't do anything more for us when they get in power, except for give more money to police. I mean, literally what they've done in Atlanta, they've allocated $90 million to a playground for police officers, yet everything that you're describing is the norm for people who live in Atlanta.
Yeah. Yes. It's just we named Florida, New York. We got Atlanta, Georgia on there. And it's like, I'm not saying that the man who's the mayor of Atlanta, because is doing wrong, but I know he just got in there. I don't know. I think the pipes bursting was a task for him. He was in town, unlike Mayor Eric Adams.
Yeah, at least he was in town. We'll give Andre
I'll
Dickens
give him
that
that
much.
I'll
He
give
was
him
in
that.
town.
He was in town. People, figured it out. And I hope that he, helps with compensation for those who need that in their homes. I haven't really updated myself on that, but he was in town. And
I mean, that's such a low bar.
I know,
but I mean, at least he was in town. That's a low bar, but he was there.
The bar is right. It's
Next to
low.
hell.
It's underneath hell.
Seventh layer level of hell, in seventh circle of hell. Anyway,
Child. Anywho, Tory Lanez. I just want to get to that. I want to get that out the way. Tory Lanez, rapper, singer, Canadian artist, not sure. But Tory Lanez is found guilty. Okay. A Los Angeles jury on last Friday, found Daystar is his name. Daystar Peterson, the Canadian rapper, better known as Tory Lanez, guilty of shooting a fellow artist, Megan Thee Stallion, in both of her feet following an argument about their romantic entanglements and respective careers in the summer of 2020. Lanez, 30, was convicted of 3 felony counts: assault with a semi-automatic handgun, carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. He faces more than 20 years in prison and could be deported. Jurors reached a verdict after about 7 hours of deliberation across 2 days following a trial that lasted nearly 2 weeks. Mr. Lanez, who has who had been free on bail during the trial following a period of house arrest, was immediately taken into custody. Sentencing was scheduled for January 27th. Meg Thee Stallion was not present in court as the verdict was read. Mr. Lanez appeared motionless and stared straight ahead until his father stood up and began shouting at the judge and prosecutors. I want you guys to hear, though. I want you guys to see the father, who looks exactly like him. He looks just like his dad, but just a little salt and pepper. But let's take a look at the father's aggression, because I want you guys to see how upset the father was.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and tortured the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met on
They
Saturday.
met with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want. Listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this.
So listen, before I want you guys to see, pause the sound. I want you guys to see, because this energy, Tory has a little sister. I think it's a little sister and not a little brother. I don't know, but he has a sibling that's young, and the sibling is yelling the same sentiments that the father is yelling. But before we get there, this energy that he's giving, people that are Tory Lanez fans were so they were giving the same thing online. They were like, Tory's innocent. How can we just go with what the law is saying? Because we don't have real proof. Although documentation of what was happening during the trial, which Meg Thee Stallion wasn't on trial, was showing that man shot that lady in the foot. Now, people also joked on this because he mentioned Rock Nation, and I still can't find out why. So people were saying, dang, ain't no food in my fridge. Damn you, Rock Nation. Damn, I ain't got no gas in the car. Rock Nation always coming up on somebody. Damn, it's raining outside. Rock Nation is busy. Because we couldn't understand what the context was for Rock Nation to be mentioned.
Right.
But let's see how this poison that is Tory Lanez and his daddy seeps down to the little sibling. I just don't understand. Let's take a look. Excuse me.
That's the second video.
The second video, but if we ain't got that, that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
During this time that this whole thing was happening, I think that was, a few days had passed. A lot of people were having their opinions, and Twitter was going into investigative mode and think pieces as they usually do, and people were splitting opinions, all of that. More evidence came out, I should say, allegedly. So Kelsey, who is Meg Thee Stallion's best friend, when I talk about this story, I just feel like it's so messy. I feel like I'm like on the phone with you, like, bitch. That's how I feel like I'm doing it. But Kelsey, who is Meg Thee Stallion's best friend, and a phone call that had leaked just early this morning or late last night, where he's actually admitting to the crime. Let's take a listen.
Here it is.
Monitoring. Press 1 to accept the call. To deny this call, thank you for using Telmate.
Hello.
Hey.
Y'all got out safe and everything.
Huh?
Y'all got out and everything. Y'all good.
Megan's still in the hospital. I'm outside the hospital.
What hospital y'all at?
About what?
You said what?
You're listening to Street
I
TV.
said Megan's in the hospital still. I'm outside the hospital waiting.
What hospital are you at?
I don't know. Let me see. Cedar, something like that. Cedar.
Bro.
Sure.
I know she probably never ever gonna talk to me ever again, but bruh, I just want you to know, bruh. Nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I didn't even know what was going on, bro. That ass. What the fuck was going on?
Viewer discretion is advised.
I never do some shit like that, bro.
Listening discretion is advised.
Fucking drunk, nigga. I just didn't even understand what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, so whatever, bro. But regardless, that's not gonna make anything right, and that's not gonna make my actions right, bro. But I'm just deeply sorry, bro. I never even moved like that, bro. Like, never moved like that at all, bro. Like, for real, dog.
Wow.
I know. There's a lot that happens, but
a whole lot, bro. Like a whole lot, bro. I feel crazy, bro. But this day, like, what happened already, bro. I can't take it back, bro. I just felt I'm just telling y'all, I'm sorry, bro. Like,
you're listening to Street TV.
I think it was just too drunk, bro.
Wow.
When I got to the house, shorty, like, all top niggas, they gave me like 5 shots, like off the door, like, you feel me? So I was out of there, like, wasn't even there with niggas.
I've done some drinking in my time. Some obscene amount of shots in one sitting. And I've been around guns while we've done that. I never picked up a gun to shoot somebody in their pinky toe. But then I also haven't been with somebody like Megan Thee Stallion and have her insult my rap career. So while he is actually saying he don't remember nothing, I guarantee you he remembers when she clowned his bars, which was, according to testimony, what ultimately led to the shooting. I'm so surprised that this audio wasn't released during the trial.
Or was it?
And I guess you're right. I guess it could be part of the evidence that they may not have released to the public. But is there anything left for Tory Lanez fans to say at this point?
Thank you.
What they got to say? That
is my question. I liked, like I did, Tory Lanez's music, and then when he, at the time, it was allegedly shot her in the foot, I had to distance myself from that. And people who were saying, and not his music, but just like liking him and supporting him and his lies and how he allowed other rappers, this is where I'm going with it, other rappers and public figures, not only rappers, actors, singers, dancers, who said Meg Thee Stallion was lying.
Mm-hmm.
And while she may have lied about their sexual relationship, who gives a, that man shot that girl in the foot.
No cap. I think most people would be ashamed to admit that they were with Tory Lanez, but go ahead.
And Tory Lanez be pulling them, unfortunately. This is facts. Now, he, and the little dick energy that he...
All right, Greta Thunberg. You Greta Thunberging it this morning. Let's go.
Yes, but we know that he has that energy. You can look at him and see. But him and that energy, he exuded like arrogance after the fact and allowed people to say it didn't happen.
That's right.
And said his truth is going to come out in the way that he said no weapons formed against him shall prosper.
He brought God into it?
He brought God into it.
Okay.
Was my mic on this whole time? Because I feel like it was.
No, I hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said like the weapons formed against him will not prosper, and he was the weapon. and it prospered.
Mm, mm, mm.
It prospered.
You felt that in your shine tonight.
My God. The Lord don't play. My brother said something, and I've been saying it since. Jonas, if you're watching, my little brother said, God don't play about me. God's child. Let me tell you something. Things could be going wrong in your life. People could be doing you wrong, but they gonna see today. You ain't gotta do nothing. It's worse than karma. I'm God's child.
Listen, Becca, like, listen, I'm a fan of Megan Thee Stallion lyrically, as well as I think she's just drop dead gorgeous, right? Physically, but I mean, what I heard her lyrics before I even knew what she looked like, right? So I'm on good ground here saying this, that I'm a fan of her work first.
Yeah.
Tory Lanez is a little bit shorter than me. For Tory Lanez to even have an opportunity to be with Megan Thee Stallion, right? As well as like as an artist, but then, dude, you turn around and not only attack her, shoot her, but then you go along with the maligning of her character for 2 years. Like, this is what I heard you saying, like, Rebecca, like, he went along with this. He knew he was wrong. He knew what he did. He let all these rappers lie about her. He let everybody, all these blogs drag her in the streets. And all of this is really stemming from the fact that Megan tried to protect him first. She tried to protect him first, and she got rewarded by him not only just dragging her in terms of this incident, but also dragging her reputationally. Like, dude, you were lucky to be with her in the first place. Second of all, you as a lyricist, you just can't stand up to her. Second, like, just full stop. Like, you got some music, it's a bop, I get it, you can move the club, fine. But just in terms of, like, dude, take a minute, take a step back from your ego and recognize when you're in front of a greater power. Megan was the greater there. She was the greater in this conversation, and he just continuously allowed her to be attacked, for her reputation to be muddied. I think he got what he deserved, period.
Agreed. I am in agreement with that completely.
Oh, he's 5'3". No, I got him by a couple inches.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Not many, but enough.
He's a tiny person with no respect for women. And what's his name? I don't like the way that it became a joke right after a video resurfaced of Young Jock, rapper, Atlanta rapper Young Jock, and radio personality now.
Young Jock, yeah.
A video resurfaced of him saying, when he was on an interview with Vlad TV, he said, if Tory did it, or if he goes to jail, I'm gonna shave my head.
Okay.
His head is shaved.
Oh, he did it. Okay, good.
And yeah, he shaved it, but then he's online like, ha 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 ha. No, it should have been like, yeah, I shaved my head because I was strong and I was wrong. And I am in support and I apologize, man. No. They made a whole thing of it. He got nicknames for his haircut. And I'm like, is anybody in the comment section really understanding what's going on here? How this is a mind F? Like, it's dragging it back to the Meg Thee Stallion is not
a victim.
And I don't like that, because all of Twitter focused on that. All of Instagram, all these social media platforms focused so much on that she put herself into her music so much she was putting out things that she wasn't even proud of. You know, she was putting out things so quickly. She was burying herself into her music. She couldn't even be in love and be happy. She had to be in love and be on and her, even though she wasn't on trial, be on trial in the court of social media. And we are tired. She deserves respect. She deserves an apology, but people are going to find an excuse. I can bet you my bottom's dollar. This news just came out. Let's wait for it, Ben. It's going to be an excuse.
So I don't know. You were alluding to this when you were playing the clip from the father, and I think someone in the comment section phrased it like this: they're like, "What in the negative black influencer is this?" This is the part that really underscores all of this, what's going on right now, not only with Meg Thee Stallion, but with Greta Thunberg and Andrew Tate. It's the same thing that happened with several other artists. There is a level of, I hate this word, but it's really what it is, just outright misogyny, right? Where black men too, this is the thing, like, we've lived in this patriarchal system and we've seen the impacts and the effects of white misogyny and patriarchy. But we're in a generation where influencers, black male influencers, are leveraging their platforms to get bigger at the expense of Black women. And Megan Thee Stallion was these people pushing and saying there's no Black woman big enough, or their star is big enough for us to not go after them. They want it to be known that they can bring even somebody like Megan Thee Stallion down, or at least that's what they wanted to do. That's what they tried to do. And unfortunately for Tory Lanez, justice is a real thing. Sorry, dude. Like, for everyone who, 50 Cent even took time to promote his janky G Units brand, right? Like, who's buying G Unit anymore? But the way he promoted it was at the expense of Megan Thee Stallion. And there's just too many Black men influencers who are buying into this Kevin Samuels / whatever the trope is, whoever their inspiration is. The bottom line is that there's money to be made off of insulting Black women. And there's just too many Black men who are dogpiling on for the sake of some clicks and some money.
Okay. 100%. 100%. And I will say this. LM in the chat said people are minimizing it because she's a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't agree more. There are a lot of things, and I wouldn't say it's specifically Black men or whatever, because there's Black women in there too. I seen a friend of mine put that up, she put it on her page. My God, today, tomorrow, and the next. She put it on her page and she said, "Free Tory." I wish I can go find it. Let's see if it's still up. She said, "Free Tory," specifically because we don't know the truth. Just because they were in there and they said that this happened doesn't mean it really happened. Why are we putting another Black man in jail? Why are we doing that? Let me see. Free Tory. I'm not saying he's guilty or innocent, but I'm saying all I'm saying is Megan is a liar, and so was her friend. I don't know Tory's version because he had a gag order, but all the inconsistencies and the eyewitnesses saying he saw the girl shoot the gun first, he should have been acquitted on that alone.
Anyway,
that's still up on her page.
There's plenty. Listen, I'll leave it to you to bring the criticism to the Black women. I'm gonna stay in my lane on that one.
No, because it's everybody. It's everyone who. I don't even care if you're Black, white, purple, yellow, whatever. But I'm just saying it ain't limited to just Black men. It's everybody in this conversation. Or I've seen everybody who's been a part of the other side. That doesn't mean that everybody is against Meg, but I've seen these conversations make its way. I've seen the think pieces make its way to prominent publications.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And for this conversation to go as it did. Hold on now. Even big social media pages.
Yes, call them out.
They have led with news that made, or they've led with the stories and testimonies that made Meg look like the shooting never happened. They led with that first.
That's right. That's because they know they're going to get clicks from all of these people who enjoy maligning Black women. I mean, it is so, especially when you're a celebrity. It's like the higher, what Biggie say, more money, more problems. But I promise you, more money and more celebrity that a Black woman gets. One detail, and I'm gonna be quiet, Rebecca. It's also extremely infuriating to men, and you could, and women too, but men specifically, to see a woman who has sexual power over her sexuality, how she presents herself, and chooses to say and do what she wants to do. It is the most infuriating thing to a whole lot of people online. And those blogs that you're calling out, they absolutely played into it. They absolutely shared misinformation. They absolutely got clicks off of it because they know there's still a huge market for people who want to attack Black women.
Mm-hmm. Instagram will pay you. Instagram. I posted the Waffle House chick who grabbed the
chair.
The chair, right? Instagram let me keep that up. Twitter let me keep that up. I put it on let me tell you, I put that on what is that? The clock app?
TikTok.
I put it on TikTok.
Girl, you get my age. Yeah.
I put it on 32 to be exact. I put it on TikTok and it was going. I mean, it was going. It was running. I said, all right, my first little viral video on TikTok. Chair. A white lady got under there and said, because the one that threw the chair was Black, The one that grabbed it, flipped it, turned it around, and was like, listen, they don't call me, you know what I'm saying, whatever they call her at
Wonder
Waffle
Woman
House.
for nothing.
Because, yeah, Waffle House is Wonder Woman. She was like, I'm ready. But the white woman, and I don't want to call her a Karen, an angry white woman, went under my post and said, oh, because everybody else was laughing. My status that I put over there was me blocking the weapons that are formed against me for the last bit of 2022. It made it positive. I'm on the white girl side. The white woman came up, she said, that's why we don't go to y'all establishments, because we're always being attacked by you people. Immediately, my post was removed and said that I was promoting violence. But white people be posting NIGGER false accusations. They be on that app saying all kinds of stuff, and TikTok will pay them to do it. Me, just a regular little something, and a white lady was crying about it. Almost got my account deleted, and I only got about 5 people on there. But they will pay me if I was putting out if white people are even spearheading this conversation on TikTok about Tory and Meg Thee Stallion, and they're getting paid for it because it's receiving the clicks and the views and things like that. And I'm over here posting about the Lord, weapons that be forming against me, and how He trained me up for it. Okay, and they told me that I was promoting violence. Won't give me $1 for it. Just told me I was promoting violence, and if I promote violence again, they will shut down my account. But there's stuff on there about Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion that is now a lie. We have proof, court proof, and still up there. People are making money off of this story. I'm just tired of it. I prayed that people really get off her back. What, she lied about being in a relationship with him?
That's
she
her
lied
business.
to protect him after. Girls, listen to me. Now, after you done told your friend what went down with your man, the day or two or a week after, what did you say? Well, he really meant to. He was going through some things. I'm going to stick right beside him. You go through that for a minute before it hits you. Okay? Rihanna went straight back to Chris Brown after the incident. Rihanna and him were at Diddy's crib. Okay? And then she realized this was what she wanted to do. So I don't know if that's lying. I don't really care. We all been there, done that. She got shot in the foot.
That's right.
By Tory Lanez, and that's end of story. Right now, there's a story developing with it. Kelsey Harris, who is her best friend, an 80-minute interview that dropped where she's detailing how Tory shot Meg Thee Stallion, and that is a story that is developing right now. So we'll see how that goes. I wanted to show one more thing, Ben. We were talking about how we celebrate Christmas and what that's like for us, but our beloved vice president that I haven't seen in a minute actually talked about how she celebrates Kwanzaa with her husband right beside her. Let's take a listen.
Rebecca Zor.
Happy Kwanzaa. Doug and I send our warmest wishes to all of you this holiday season.
During Kwanzaa, we celebrate the history and heritage of the African American community and the African diaspora.
Growing up, Kwanzaa was always a special time. We came together with generations of friends and family and neighbors. There were never enough chairs, so my sister and I and the other children would often sit on the floor, and together we lit the candles of the Kinara, and then the elders would talk about how Kwanzaa is a time to celebrate culture, community, and family. And they, of course, taught us about the 7 principles. My favorite principle was always the second, Kujichagulia, self-determination. Power to design your own life and determine your own future. And it is a deeply American principle, one that guides me every day as vice president.
To everyone celebrating, we hope your week is filled with love and light. From our family to yours,
Happy Kwanzaa.
They couldn't even get that in unison because she ain't got it in them.
Oh, come on.
She ain't got it in them. Now, I will say this. Now, I don't believe her. Look, they said believe black women. I'm just over here telling y'all to believe black women. And now I'm telling y'all to believe. I don't believe her. I don't think she celebrated that.
Wait a minute. What
no, I'm going to tell you why. I'm Haitian, first generation. And she's Asian and Jamaican. So, and they came at a certain time. Kwanzaa was in 1966 for the first time celebrated. She's a little older. Here I go, conspiracy.
She was young enough. They did the math. She was
giving a thing, Ben. Now,
go ahead.
It was cringy though, but forget my conspiracy.
The video was cringy.
Let's put it to the side. It was very cringy. I think this is her again addressing the community with the Black holiday because she is the diversity and inclusion pick, and so she has to step in there and do one of the get you one of these. She has to do one of these, and her husband, poor Doug, just like, girl, you didn't tell me.
I know I ain't never celebrate no Kwanzaa. What you got me up here doing this video for?
You didn't tell me you was gonna say this, girl. I thought we were just gonna happy Kwanzaa this. You said you
self-determination. I don't know if I agree with that. No.
Somebody said, right. I never heard of that. And now you know I'm off American principles. It sounds a bit African. Kwanzaa. Now
leave Doug alone. Is that his name, Doug?
Doug, child, Doug. I would love to see it. I want to see the photos and the pictures because I want inspiration for my next Kwanzaa.
I don't honestly. I don't care. I don't care whether she celebrated or not. Like, you know, if she celebrated it once, that's gonna give her enough, you know, plausible deniability to say that she wasn't lying, right? And that she actually was out there with the chairs out, and, you know, with the little kente cloth.
That's
and
when she was dating Montel. She probably celebrated. I'm playing.
Listen. You know why? Let me just explain why. I'm not going to give any politician an easy time, but I'm looking at Kamala a little differently because of how many different ways the Biden administration has made her look crazy.
Crazy?
No, absolutely. The assignments the Biden administration sends this black woman on top, like, don't get me wrong, like, Kamala is awkward. She's not the best communicator and all stuff. So combine her awkwardness with the fact that Biden don't really use her for anything except for like go down here with his marching band and wave at them. And I'm like, bro, y'all really are making her look just outright
she pulls
ridiculous.
Up.
When she pulls up, because she got no choice. The president tell her to go. She gotta go. She gotta go.
I do believe, from the last comment, I do believe that she did celebrate in college. When you go to an HBCU, you got to celebrate. Sure. Like, it's part of if you're there for the holidays, you're gonna celebrate Kwanzaa. Now, circling back, I mean, honestly speaking, I think that she wants to be seen because she probably is the diversity and inclusion pick. So she has to pull up to the more blacker events that are
like, I ain't doing nothing for Kwanzaa. You ain't let me do nothing for Christmas and Hanukkah. I ain't gonna go here for Kwanzaa.
I would have set up there like this: Happy Kwanzaa.
Mm-hmm. From our home to yours.
From our home.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
That would have been it for me.
Because she had a whole story, and now we're confused. But anywho,
it probably happened.
We're just trying to get to know her. The time
3 years in.
3 years in, we're trying to get to know her.
Y'all gonna leave my black vice president alone. I honestly don't care.
She's black.
I'm just joking.
She's Asian too, so she's representing a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we still trying to get to know her. The Asian community probably still trying to get to know her too. We all trying to get to know her. Everybody is trying to get to know that.
I mean, I know enough about her career as a prosecutor and as a cop, so I don't give any politician much grace. But in terms of like how poorly her performance as a vice president has been, I honestly am going to have to lay a lot of that at the Biden administration, sending her on wild goose chases, man. They send her everywhere ridiculous. it's kind of the job of the vice president to do that kind of sucky stuff, to be honest with you. Like, there's been vice presidents through history who have literally complained and said that they would rather die than to be vice president again. So
It's fact.
it's
fact. So,
too bad, Kamala. We did it, Joe.
So look, protect black women. We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe.
Protect black women.
I don't know. I'm somewhere on the. I'm half and half on this one.
Love black women and black men too. Okay, look, we got some bad apples.
Unless they're Eric Adams, then
or Tory Lanez
or Byron Brown,
Child, R. Kelly,
or Drake.
It's the people. Look, Drake. 21. Can you do something for me? I cannot. Anywho, we're at the end of the show, you guys. Next, when we see you again, it's going to be 2023.
That's right.
We're going to be taking a break so that we come back and we give you the fresh for the new year.
Hello.
Who?
Hello.
We got Herschel Walker on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Gender conforming individuals.
I did wanted to call in and say happy K1 the Z. Happy K1 the Zina.
Herschel, where have you been? Where have you been since your election loss?
I have been in my bunker in Texas, Georgia, just trying to make sure that I'm surviving the winter snowpocalypse hurricane blizzard that's going on. Must say that I was quite warm in the bunker. I feel a little sick, but I'm still okay though. Okay. I just wanted to come in and say happy K1's EA to all my brothers and sisters here in the diaspora.
Okay, over there in Texas, Georgia. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for checking in with us, Mr. Herschel, and I'm glad that you were safe in your bunker, and I hope that you're back home well.
Kamala did celebrate Kwanzaa Nene. She was just saying that because she took that from me. I told her that she could just do a message. We were supposed to do it together because that's my sister from another mitter, and we were supposed to do it together. But she said that she was not going to do it and that I didn't have to worry about coming on the show and doing it. And also, what's the man named Warnock? He was a lie. He shouldn't have won the election. I won.
Okay. Now, Herschel,
we're not going to let you spread misinformation on air, Herschel.
Yes, we don't like the misinformation like that on air. So, Mr. Herschel, thank you for calling in. Go get some rest. Get him out of here, David. Get him out of here. Listen. Thank you for checking in, Mr. Herschel. We don't spread that kind of misinformation about elections on this show. We don't bring in January 6th energy on this show. As I was saying,
Bubba gonna come back. No, go ahead.
Love him, mean it, and I hope he's resting. Bubba, if you're watching me, I don't know why.
Man,
you should be rested up,
bro.
You should be rested up. But thanks for checking in with us. Love you, mean it. We're at the end of the show. I thank you guys. Next, we are going to be taking a break, a New Year break. I know, Ben, you got a lot going on, and so I want to make sure that you take that break that you need, because we're coming back as a team in 2023, Jordan year. So I want you guys. In the meantime, you guys have been supporting. I really appreciate it. I'm hearing about these cash apps. I keep looking at mine. Where mine at? But you're at there. So if you missed it for Christmas, it's Becca's voice. Okay, Becca's voice on Cash App. I'm just saying. You can send $1 or $2. I don't care. But I feel like I hear about the blessings that everybody else is getting. Lateef, shouts out to you. Thank you so much.
Get running my mouth. See, I should.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the constant Tuesdays all year long that you have supplied me. Laura, thank you so much. Laura Estrada, look me going. Carrie, you blessed me. I ain't gonna lie. Carrie Shaw, you blessed me for Christmas. And I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Mary Richardson. I'm going from like months before too. Talon.
Let me give somebody a shout out real quick.
Rosalba, Robert Stewart.
Todd Tweedy.
Todd Tweedy said at the same time.
How about that?
Tweedy.
He said the same name at the same time.
Thank you. I absolutely love y'all for just supporting us thus far, because we have been doing it by ourselves. The system that you see it being run on, out of the pockets. Okay. We're not doing anything. We're not getting any help. We're literally self-funded. So because of you, we're able to be here all the time. And well, most times, we're able to do this and balance out what we have going on in the background, being that our jobs. I wish we can be here more consistently, but that's what we're going to work towards. So with your help, I thank you. With your help that you've already given, I thank you. I'm telling you, for those who stayed riding for us, for those even on the times that it was looking crazy, you guys, because of you, we're still here today. And we're going into 2023. We've been rocking with y'all here on this platform since 2020. I appreciate Ben for opening it up and letting me do what I do, even when he wasn't here. I appreciate for letting us lead the way. 2023 is going to be amazing. And I love you guys. Mean it. Ben, any last words?
No, man. It just thanks everybody. It's been a great year. I know 2023 is going to be even better. I'm going to put a podcast out talking about Andrew Tate. I'm going to go in on that clown a little bit in a few minutes. So make sure y'all tune into today's podcast. James, it was good to see you, man, even though it was Herschel, but it was good to see you get well quicker and sooner. And we're looking forward to working with everybody in the new year.
Yeah. I love you guys. Mean it. Remember, Cash App, Becca's Voice. Patreon.com. No, like it or not.
Yeah, patreon.com /
like it or not. Patreon.com. I'm going to get it right. Patreon.com / like it or not. Love you. Mean it. See you in 23.